Hello, welcome or welcome back to the Yarn and Yarns YouTube channel. My name is Angela and all the places you can find me should be linked in the description box below this video. Here on the channel you'll find me chatting about my adventures in knitting, spinning, crochet, weaving, all of the fibre related things. Today's video is a shop talk video. So if you're new to the channel you may not be aware, I run a small yarn shop. It is an online yarn shop currently. It used to be my local bricks and mortar yarn shop, but sadly for reasons beyond my control the bricks and mortar side of the shop had to come to an end, and so now I am trying to keep the lights on in the best way that I can via our online shop, which I run from my home here in South Wales. So if shop talk is not of interest to you, I completely understand. I try to keep these two self-contained videos, so for anyone who is here just for the making, then you can feel free to skip over the shop talk videos. They'll all be clearly labelled when they go up on the channel. So I hope that you will join me for the next video. But for those of you who are interested, thank you so much for your time and your interest, and I hope you will enjoy the next 10-15 minutes or so with me as I chat about all things new at Yarn and Yarns. So in today's video I've got some Fibre Club talk, we've got some publications, and I've got some kits to share with you. I've got some brand new kits, something a little bit different. I'm still connected with our love of all things fibre, but it's good to try something new every once in a while, isn't it? So I've taken a chance and I've ordered a few different things that I've not had in the shop before, and we shall see how they go. You'll have to let me know what you think when we come to them. But first off, before I get into all of that, I just wanted to say there's still about 10 days or so as I'm recording this for you to get in on the Yarn and Yarns Advent action if you are so interested. All of the fibre advents have now sold, but I still do have lots of yarn advent options available on the website. If that's something that's of interest to you, then I chatted a lot about that in the last shop talk video, so I'll leave a link to that video, and all of the things that I chat about, there will be links to directly to the sort of product page on the website, so you can hop on over to the website too if there's anything that I chat about that you are interested in. And this week I started plotting, planning and scheming. Well, I'd already plotted, planned and started scheming before I put the listings up, but I've done more in the way of starting to order in the yarns that will be going into the advents, and I've even started winding the first of the mini skeins this week. So I'm going to have so much fun putting the advents together. So if it's something that you think you might be interested in, then yeah, as I say, details in the last video or linked below. All of you lovers of the Yarn and Yarns Fibre Club, I just wanted to let you know that the June Fibre Club listing is now available on the website. So if you are interested, then again, that will be linked below the video. The May Fibre Club has literally just gone out the door in the last couple of days, so everyone should have had their shipping notification by now, and I know a few people have started to receive their boxes, so hopefully most people will get those in the next day or two if you haven't already received yours. I will have a little bit of a video at the end, hopefully, sharing what went into the May Fibre Club box, and the May theme was nesting. So if you haven't received your package and you don't want to be spoiled, then I will give you plenty of warning before I start chatting about Fibre Club at the end. But if you are interested in seeing what went into the box, then as I say, there will be a little spoiler section at the end for you to check out. And if you haven't joined in the Yarn and Yarns Fibre Club yet, that little sort of snippet should give you an idea of the sorts of things that go into the Fibre Club boxes. The June theme is Night Sky, and I think I have set the pre-orders up to go until the end of the first week of June, and then the shipping date I think is the last week of June. So yeah, all the details will be linked on the website, and you'll find the link to the exact page below the video. And thank you to those of you who have already found that listing. I actually put it up a couple of days ago, but I haven't sort of publicised that anywhere, but a few of you have sneakily been on the website and found it already and put your orders in. So yeah, plenty of those available on the website now as I speak, so if you are interested in getting involved in that club, then we would love to have you on board. It's the 20th of May as I record this, and hopefully I'm going to be able to edit and upload this before the end of the day, but it's publication day for the latest Laine publication, and it's the Traditions Revisited Modern Estonian Knits by Alex Bird. And I have, I think, maybe 2 more copies of this available. A lot of the copies went on pre-order. The Laine publications are always quite popular, and in the past I really haven't ordered quite enough, so they've always sold on the pre-order, but this time I ordered almost double the amount that I would usually. So it's quite nice for me to actually have a couple left available on the day that the publication goes live, because that doesn't actually happen very often. But I think I will try and do that going forward with the Laine Publications, because they're just so beautiful, and it's completely understandable why they are so popular. It's like a real nice sort of coffee table book, very substantial, beautiful photography. And let me read you the blurb on the back of this one. Estonian knitting is all about technique, embellishment and regionality. Alex Bird's book, Traditions Revisited, Modern Estonian Knits, is an introduction to contemporary Estonian knitting. It includes 19 patterns ranging from mittens to sweaters that blend seamlessly with modern knitting styles. With her book, Alex, whose roots are Estonian, Canadian and the USA, wants to make traditional techniques accessible to everyone. So there we go, and there are lots of beautiful patterns in here. Let me just show you a few of the photographs without spoiling the secret sauce, if I can. Let me show you one more page. So yeah, absolutely gorgeous publication, and that is available on the website from today. When I put in my order for the Traditions Revisited, I also asked if I could restock on the contrast book. So this publication came out, I think maybe a month to 6 weeks ago, maybe slightly longer, but this sold out really quickly. And this one is Contrasts by Meiju KP, and it's all about textured knits. So this one is Meiju KP's patterns are filled with elaborate lace, beautiful cables and carefully finished details, but at the same time they are fun to make. Meiju likes to combine challenging techniques with pleasant knitting experience. And Meiju lives in Helsinki in Finland. And as it said on the back there, there's lots of cables and lace in this book. So if you're a fan of that kind of pattern, then you will absolutely adore this book. And again, let me show you a few of the picture pages. Look at those beautiful cables and bobbles. I love that. So yeah, that gives you a bit of an idea of some of the patterns that are available in this book. But look at this one, I keep flicking through. It's the problem with these books, well, it's not a problem, is it? It's the beauty of these books, that once you start looking you don't want to stop. That one combines cables and lace. So yes, I have a couple of copies of Contrasts available on the website too. So that just leaves us the new kits that I was talking about at the beginning of the video. So if you have been watching since Vlogmas, you might remember that I did a little bit of needle felting during Vlogmas, and at the time a few people reached out and asked me if I was going to be entertaining the idea of stocking any supplies or kits in the shop. So I took that on board, and I have been doing a little bit of research, and I'm happy to say that I now have a few different needle felting kit options available in the shop for anyone who wanted to try that craft. And I have a couple of different styles of needle felting in kit form for you to try out if you choose to do so. So first off, I've got a few kits that are the sort of 3D, more sculptural type of needle felting. Similar to the sheep that I made back during Vlogmas, if you did watch that. And I've got quite a few different options available, and these are all available now on the website. And these kits I think start from around about £12 and go up to £15–16 I think. I can't remember exactly, but as I say, all the details will be linked below. And I have gone for a few different options. I couldn't decide which ones to get, so I might have gone a little bit overboard, but hopefully there might be someone out there who is tempted to have a try. So first off, I've got the Red Robin. And these kits contain everything that you need. So you get the wool for the felting, the needles. For this particular one, there's a pipe cleaner because it involves a bit of sort of sculpting around the legs, I think. You get a foam mat to work on. For this one, there are some eyes, some wire and full colour instructions. So everything you need to make a robin. They're all labelled as being suitable for beginner. I haven't had a chance to try all of these kits yet, but I think but obviously the robin does have a few sculptural elements like the wire and the pipe cleaner. If that seems like it might be a little too advanced or a little too complex, then I do have a couple of other kits. So I've got woolly pumpkins, and that should teach you to make one of the sort of basic needle felting shapes. So that should build up your confidence. I've made a few needle felted pumpkins before, and actually this shape was very similar to the sheep ornaments that I made. So yeah, you should get a good sort of basis for building up some of the sort of common needle felting shapes. If you did want to progress in this craft, then this is probably a great way to start to build up your confidence in making those shapes. And I have bunnies to cute. On the back, let me show you the back of this kit. It gives you a little picture of all the things that are included. And then when I saw these, if you have been here on the channel any length of time at all, you'll know that there was no way these weren't going into my order. Gnomes. So I actually have two different gnome kits available. I know I might have gone a little bit over the board with gnomes, but I figured if no one is interested in needle felting, at least I'll have a bunch of these to make myself. So I've got two different gnome versions. I've got this one, which is the Nordic gnomes, and then I have Santa gnomes. So this kit's a little bit bigger, but there's everything, I understand there's everything in here that you need to make three. So if you wanted to make these and gift them, then that's 3 gifts right there. So yeah, those are the sort of sculptural needle felted kits, but I decided that maybe working the sort of 3D elements wouldn't be to everyone's interest or taste, so I decided to go for a couple of the hooped felted kits as well. So you make a sort of 2D picture with these. I've got 2 different kits available in this style. So first off, I've got a bee, and as you can see, you needle felt the picture and then you can mount it in this hoop for display should you choose to do so. So the kit contains felting wool, felt fabric, an embroidery hoop, the needles, the sponge to use to felt into, needle and thread, and all of the instructions. And also I love the bee, but this cheeky little sloth might be my favourite. There's a little sloth hanging out on his tree. A little bit of a foray into needle felting on the website, so I hope 1 or 2 of you might be interested in trying something new, or maybe you're already a needle felter and you just want to treat yourself to a new kit. And alongside the needle felting, the same company supply a few cross stitch kits as well, and it's been quite some time since I've done any cross stitch. My mum was a great cross stitcher, and I have got lots of her sadly unfinished cross stitches in my cupboard in a box, waiting patiently to be worked on and finished. But I haven't felt the pull towards cross stitch for a while, and I thought maybe embarking on one of these smaller kits might get me in the mood. So I've got 2 cross stitch kits available on the website as well randomly. I thought as I was placing the order I would give it a go. So again, these are in hoop, so you can mount them up and display them in the hoops once they're finished, should you choose to do so. I've got a fox and gnomes. So this box is a little bit battered because I have started this one, how could I not? And I thought this actually gives me a good opportunity to share with you the actual contents of a box without sort of breaking into a box that I'm then going to sell on to someone else. So inside the box you get, if you're a complete beginner, you get this really handy sort of beginner's guide to cross stitching. It gives you loads of hints and tips on how to work your cross stitch. You get all of the threads that you need, and they were much neater than this before I started working on my cross stitch, so just ignore that. But everything you need thread wise is in the kit, and you get one of these hoops as well. Now the instructions will show you how to work your cross stitch in your hoop. However, I have never worked cross stitch in a hoop. I know some of you cross stitchers out there will be gasping in horror at me because it does keep your fabric nice and flat, but I was taught by my mum, and my mum never used a hoop, and that's just the way I like to do it, and I find it much easier for me. So yeah, you'll have to ignore my uncouth cross stitch ways. But I have started on my gnomes. So as you can see, they're starting to shape up I'll show you the reference picture again. So I've done some of this hat, and I've started randomly on I've done the beards, and I've started randomly on the body over here. It was just the way that made sense to me. So I've been doing a little bit of this for the last couple of evenings, and I think a couple more evenings and it'll be done, because it's a really nice, something to get your teeth stuck into, but not a huge project. So again, perfect I think for beginners, or for anyone who maybe is a cross stitcher and is just looking for something fun to do in between some of their bigger projects. This will be the perfect kit for you, either the fox or the gnomes. And I have a fancy that I might eventually, once my gnome is finished, I might turn that into a project bag. So we shall see. Watch this space to see if that happens. So yeah, lots of new things on the website, and some firsts as well. So the cross stitch and the needle felting are, as I say, a slightly new departure. I'm not sure if it will be a once it's gone scenario, or if I will keep restocking them. I guess it just depends on how popular they turn out to be. So it will be a case of watching this space for me and for you. So yeah, we've got to the end. That's everything. Not too much to update you with. I'm hoping next month, I'm currently talking to a brand new yarn supplier. So if things work out, I might have some new yarns to share with you next month. We'll see. Before I sign off completely, I did want to just remind everyone about the Yarn and Yarns Destash page on Instagram. If you don't follow that page, then please do go over and give it a follow if you're an Instagram user. I am getting back to more regularly posting some of the sale yarns that I have. For those of you who have been around on the channel for a while, you'll know, and as I mentioned at the start of this video, I did have a bricks and mortar yarn shop. I had to close that down, and I have got quite a lot of stock that I'm working through, but I won't have the space to continue to stock on a regular basis. I'm really trying to get our spare bedroom under control so we can welcome guests back now that we're able to do so. So yeah, I'm listing the sale yarns regularly over on the Destash page. There's always a link to the Destash page below these videos, but if you are interested in lots of lovely yarns and grabbing yourself some really good deals, then please do go and check out the Destash page. Right, I'm going to sign off, and with any luck, here follows a little bit of a spoiler for the May Fibre Club. So if you don't want to be spoiled, then switch off now, but if you do want to stick around and see that footage, then please do. And of course, I'll be back here on the channel again soon with some more making content, so I hope you will join me for the next video. Thank you so much for listening to me waffle about yarn and yarns for a little while. I hope that we'll see each other next time, but until we do get to spend time together again, I hope you get to do some other things that you enjoy. Great big woolly hugs to you all. Bye for now. Finished making the bats and rolags for the May Club, and so I thought, as I have in the last few of these videos, share them with you before I send them off. Although, having said that, the rolag that I'm going to show you is in a bit of a sorry state, because it's one that I'm going to be keeping. I've packed up all of the rolags that are due to be sent off, so you'll have to excuse the sorry state of the rolag that I'm going to share with you, but it gives you an idea. So the theme for this month's club was nesting, and as always I've got a little bit of blurb on a card. So it basically, I won't read it all, but it basically explains that I've been inspired for the nesting box by the lovely birds that visit my garden feeders. And this month's fibre is 100% Shetland, and the colours inspiration has come from a robin's nest. And if you've ever seen a robin's nest, maybe I'll try and insert a picture. They have these lovely blue eggs. So I'll show you the fibre in a minute, but I'll share the extras first. So everyone should receive a bird themed chocolate in some way or another. There's a few different variations, but most people will get this, but most people will get a little chick like this in their box. The tea, of course, is Bird and Blend for a nesting / bird themed box. It couldn't be anything other than Bird and Blend, could it? So this one is breakfast ready honey, and it's a combination of rooibos, honeybush, sunflower petals and natural flavouring. So that was the tea. And then the other little extra, I decided to make some tags. and I bought one that doesn't have a backing on. That's rubbish, isn't it? Bear with. I've made these little tags that I thought would be quite nice, hopefully, to attach to the finished yarn that folks spin with their bats or their rolags. So I have put Yarn and Yarns Fibre Club May 2022 with the nesting theme, and then on the back it tells you that the fibre is 100% Shetland, and then there's space for everyone to fill in information about their particular spin. And on the front there's a little blackbird who's just caught a worm for his lunch. And then onto the fibres themselves, as I say, 100% Shetland fibre. And this rolag is awful. I'm a little bit ashamed to share it with you, but it's been a bit abused. It's been hanging around and it got a little bit squashed. But it kind of gives you the idea. Should have kept a pristine one. But I have blended together browns and blues, and this is one of the bats that I've made. And as I often do, I made a few sort of test rolags and I decided to spin one up. I spun up one rolag, which was approximately 10 grams. I made quite a nice plump 3-ply with it. I just chain plied it back on itself, and I knit up a little sort of cuff with it to give you an idea, depending on how you spin your yarn, of what your yarns might turn out like. So I've tried to make, it's a bit easier in the rolags than in the bats, because the drum carder sort of takes the fibre and you don't have quite as much control. That you've got a little bit of control, but sometimes it can sort of veer off and take the fibres as it wants to. But with the rolags I have a little bit more control. So what I tried to do was blend a bit of brown, a section where the brown and blue sort of blended together, some solid blue, look at the state of that, another sort of brown blue section, and then back to brown. So my idea was to try and make it so if you wanted to spin like this, you'd get sort of stripes of brown, a gradation of brown blue, a bit more of a solid blue in the middle, and then gradation again, a blending again, and then back to brown. And depending on how you strip your bats, you should be able to get a similar effect with the bats too. So yeah, that's the nesting Fibre Club.